Moving on, China's President Xi Jinping is in France on a two-day state visit at the invitation of his French counterpart, Emmanuel Macron. In Paris, Xi met Macron and EU Commission Chief Ursula Von Der Leyen. The meetings were followed by a state banquet hosted by Macron at the Élysée Palace.
The international situation very clearly requires this Euro-Chinese dialogue more than ever, and I expressed it again recently in my speech about our Europe. We are at a turning point in our history, which requires us to face and overcome the structural difficulties which involve economic trade, where the idea of decoupling would be harmful, and we have a responsibility to ensure a level playing field for all.
The Chinese leader's visit indicates a relative warmth in Sino-French relations coming after Macron's own visit to China in April of 2023. Xi has acknowledged the French leader's stature as a major EU power broker.
China always sees China-EU relations from a strategic and long-term perspective and regards Europe as an important direction of Chinese characteristics, major country diplomacy and an important partner in realizing Chinese-style modernization. I hope that China-France relations and China-EU relations will promote each other and develop together.
Xi will head to Hungary and Serbia the same day. The issues ranging from Ukraine to trade and investment top the agenda in the Chinese president's first trip to Europe in 5 years. EU chief Ursula Von Der Leyen has also said she will press for fair competition with China in talks with President Xi Jinping today. His arrival in Paris marks 60 years of diplomatic relations between France and China. The visit, however, has been marred with protests. Several journalists from the Reporters Without Borders organization carried out a demonstration outside the landmark Arc de Triomphe in Paris, protesting against China's crackdown on press freedom. For more on this, we were earlier joined by our correspondent, Alex Cadier from Paris. Take a listen.
Yeah, absolutely. Also leanings of a certain degree of Euroscepticism in Hungary and Serbia. So while President Xi is here in Paris, just a few kilometers from where I'm standing here, to mark 60 years of diplomatic ties between his country and France, the diplomacy between both sides will be tense throughout the day. We know that Ursula Von Der Leyen, the European Commission president, is here, and her commission is probing Chinese electric vehicles entering the European market because of what the EU suspects are unfair trade practices. Strong pushback from Beijing on that. We know that Paris and President Macron's administration want the European Union to go further, to go harder in probing Chinese businesses and their use of unfair trade practices. But there is certainly a lack of unanimity across the European Union when it comes to this. Germany and others see China as a market for opportunities. And so certainly this visit by President Xi, of course, marking 60 years of diplomatic relations here in Paris, but then going to countries that have really been a thorn in the side of those EU leaders over the next few months, could be seen by some as a way to divide and conquer.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.